So they're just like, yeah, just kick it. Just one leg.
Welcome to the Den for round 6 action here in the NPL Tasmania. And a game in store today between the host, the Lions, and the Northern Rangers. Two teams who've really improved so far this season. Certainly in terms of the style of football they're playing, they've been impressive. And 3 points on the table here for both these teams today. Both will look at this one as a winnable match, a chance to climb up the table and get themselves in the mix of what's a pretty even competition at the moment. You've got Zebras, City and Devonport, the top three, all on double figures with their points tally, but a bit of a logjam really from 4th down to 7th. Rangers sitting in 7th, Kingborough in 5th, but just a point between them, and 1 point apiece won't be enough to whet either team's appetite here today. They are going to want all three, and both are capable of it. I'm Andrew Cooling. Joining me to call this one today, now at the Den, always a favourite venue of ours, for the live stream is Paul Hunt. A very good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to everyone out there tuning in. Yes, certainly a favourite venue of mine. The view, the view from the commentary box and the view in general down here, and good to see on the far side of the ground the new Lightwood Park number 2 under construction as well. We're doing very good things down here are the Kingborough Lions, two teams that are always pretty tight together on the table in NPL history. And so we have a look at that one there. Kingborough just with the 1 point more than Rangers so far this season. I was down here for that Olympia game about this time last month for Kingborough and was very impressed despite going down late. Only an 89th minute winner on that day from Joffrey and Koso, denying them a point against Olympia, and then to come back the next week and pretty much demolish Hobart Zebras was exceptionally impressive. A bit of a tough road game at the Junjun. Clarence the week before last in the NPL. Probably should have had a few more chances and put a few more away there, Kingborough, but they've had a pretty solid start to the season so far, have the Lions, and I've got them as slight favourites today, but Rangers have certainly been quite an attacking force so far this year. As we look at what they've done lately, they really put Clarence to the sword at home, but just on the road, especially coming down here, losses to both Zebras and Olympia. 1-1 draw in the derby as well against Launceston City, so have struggled on the road a bit this season, have the Rangers, and that'll probably be one of the main points they'll have to overcome in order to get 3 points here today, Calling.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to improve on the road if they're going to get the result, no doubt about that. The first half against the Zebras was fantastic, but really just faltered in that second half. We'll have a look at the Kingborough Lions side today, and a change in net today. Up top there, number 1, Nicholas O'Connell will be between the sticks. Mitchell Stalker had been the man with the number 1 gig so far this season. A few new faces in the team. One who's been pretty reliable in there is Nicholas Zammit, who's just nailed on that fullback position, has been a good performer. James Hall, he's a new name in the squad today. We'll wait to see where he plays, certainly with some injuries in attack. We might see him thrust up the field. Christian DiMartino, where's the number 9? Didn't really play the 9 role against Clarence, so we'll see where he lines up. Christopher Downs, well, what a weapon he is, and he's been a big part of their success at home. You don't want to concede free kicks anywhere within about 40 yards of the goal with Chris Downs lurking about. Joel Schuthers slotted in at centre-back for most of the year, partnering number 14, Gilly De Souza, the import there, and they've formed a pretty good partnership. Timothy Baker, the real star man in this team, is Timmy Knoxville. He's been doing a lot of good work up top, loving his endeavour to get at and attack defences. He's got all the tricks in the book, and he'll be a big player that Rangers are going to have to shut down today. Phil Kansos enjoying a good year out on the wing, supplying some good ammunition to his attacking players. And a couple of youngsters there, Jacob Calvert and Tobias Havainen, who was one that Marcage brought through early last year and has really just nailed on his spot in the side ever since. And I don't think there's any chance of him being taken out of the starting lineup because he continues to impress the youngster on the bench. Unless he's cloned himself, I doubt it's Nicholas Zammit. But we've got Thomas Lacose, Joseph Davis, David Cooper and Dominic Easton as the bench options there for the Lions.
Good solid lineup there for Kingborough, including the clone, Nicholas Zammit. I mean, he has been playing that impressive. I wouldn't mind 2 of him in my lineup this year, but Yeah, Timothy Baker has been a standout for Kingborough. You never know what to expect with the imports that come in, especially on the other side of the world, and he has been exceptionally impressive. Has a bit more licence to roam free compared to his other teams. Coach Mark Broadbent likes to have a pretty stout defence, and then the creative outlet is certainly Timothy Baker. Chris Downs, the free kick maestro, especially in that Zebras win the other week, and then surprised at the keeping change. I'd assume Mitch Stalker, he's listed on the bench, so it might just be as an emergency. He's been relatively impressive this season. And that's a surprise there. And yeah, again, still concerned about who's going to play up top. It's the one mystery of this Kingborough Lions team. No real central number 9, so that'll be an interesting thing. And then Thomas Laco's off the bench. He's played that role as sub a lot this year. Injection of pace at the 70th minute usually goes down a treat. Fiery customer. And we'll see if he can keep that in check and have a bit of a roll this afternoon.
We'll move along now to the Northern Rangers lineup. The visiting side, just a 3 on the bench today. But I'm immediately excited when I look down there and see the number 4 of Michael Montecchio back in there, a real favourite of ours. It's Slice of Cheese and a star of an upcoming ad campaign, but more on that later. Big Tiki, he's a fantastic addition to the Rangers, does a lot of work for that club up there, and he's just worked his way back into the NPL team, which is good to see. In between the sticks, big Samuel Watman, a very good number 1, a towering figure, the big Kiwi. He can really cover the goals. Simon Lucas, Pat Lanau Atkinson, a couple of reliable stalwarts there. Pat Lanau Atkinson, one of the better fullbacks going around. Daniel Christie having a sneaky good season up top. Daniel Christie, he's scored a few fantastic goals. He's got a really dangerous long-range shot on him, and that's something that the Lions are going to have to be awake to today, because he'll do some damage if they give him too much space. And number 9, Mitchell Jones, back in there. I hope he has a better trip than his last trip south, in which half his face got taken off on that particular day. It's some interesting headgear he was running out of that game after Shek Kamara cleaned him up, but certainly in the wars on his last trip down south. Federico Cano, the Argentinian star up top, and he's been very, very lively, an excitement machine and a real game breaker. And I think 2 of the keys today, as we touched on earlier, Baker for the Lions and Freddie Cano for the Rangers. They're going to be the real key movers today, as is Nick Lanau Atkinson, always is. He's the captain, the experienced member of the team, and he will have a big task to play. Alex Fulton in there, no Jesse, but Alex Fulton making the starting line-up today. A big rangy figure. He'll play in defence, you'd imagine. William Humphrey and Mitchell Roberts rounding out the 11 for Rangers. So a few new faces in this side. On the bench, Lachlan McCallum Smith, Jonathan Burke, and the backup keeper William Smith, so a few less making the trip south with the championship team in action up the road. So not quite the depth on the Rangers bench, so they're going to have to back in this starting lineup to deliver the goods, but it's a lineup that has done just that, Paul Hunt, in recent times.
Yeah, it certainly has in recent times. They've certainly been a bit more of an attacking threat this season than last season. I think that is down to Federico Cano, who I'm looking forward to seeing in the flesh here today. He's certainly had an impressive highlights reel in the first few rounds of the NPL Taz, as well as the Lacquer Cup. And then you know what to get with a few of those Rangers players, both the Lanau Atkinsons, Pat and Nick, Will Humphrey, Simon Lucas, very solid players. And we saw last year with the other Launceston team, City, have the emergence of a striker in Noel Mees, and this year it does appear to be Daniel Christie, one of those ones you haven't heard a whole lot of in the pre-season, like that hype, but just build their way into the season nicely and end up being one of the key players for the team. So that'll be an interesting thing to look at with the Rangers. I would expect them to sit back a tad here, being at home, and look to play on the counter-attack using Christie and Cano, and then now Atkinson coming down the wing. That'd be what I'd anticipate from Lino Scully, especially on an away trip, and not too much on the bench. So as you say, they will have to back in their starting 11, and we have seen Kingborough concede a fair few late goals this season, so possibly a crucial change towards the end could make the difference for Rangers. Just before the start of, it's one of those games where you'd anticipate a draw to start with, two very evenly matched teams, and have been for a little while. I might just give the home team the edge here today. I think it'll be Kingborough by just the one goal. That's about as much as I think is in this one. It's a bit of a coin flip. And I'd like to know your thoughts, Girling.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one to call as we have a look at the referees there. Mike Burlone in his NPL refereeing debut. Our stats man Ben Smith all over that one. The 21st referee to referee in the NPL Tasmania. His assistants Stephen Roach and Jono Calcraft. But yeah, I think it's tough to split these teams. I think it'll be a pretty even matchup, and it might just be who can produce that moment of magic that unlocks things, whether it's Kano for Rangers, Lanau Atkinson from Range, a Chris Downs free kick. I don't think there's going to be a lot between them. I think it'll just be who can have that one moment of quality, and both teams have got players capable of producing that, but I think it'll be a fairly physical affair. I think both teams will really be going at it. Both teams will be pushing hard for the win. I'm not expecting either to sit back at all. I think both teams want 3 points here today, that's for sure.
Yeah, certainly do, as we look at the players walking out onto the pitch for the pre-match customaries. It's a pretty strong breeze down here at Lightwood Park as well, heading, as you look at it on the screen from the far side towards the camera end. And it's pretty stiff breeze, so it won't really favour either team. It's very much going across the pitch. Possibly could curl one in behind, heading towards the far end, and a nice through ball there, especially with the pace of Timothy Baker. He absolutely torched the Olympia defence when he scored Kingborough's goal in that game down the right-hand side, so sort of a curled through ball through there, or likewise for Rangers, putting a through ball into Federico Cano could be an option as well. So if there is an advantage, probably towards the left-hand side of your screen. And it'll be not a huge factor to start with, as we have a look at the captains going in for the coin toss, Joel Schuth and Nick L.A.
Yeah, we saw in the women's game beforehand, if it was favouring an end, it definitely was going towards the hill down there. So the Lions are attacking in the first half, and I suspect having won the toss, you'd want to kick that way while the wind is up for now, and we'll see. It's not been perhaps a huge factor, but I think it could be a slight advantage to the Lions in the first 45, and they'll want to make the most of it, that's for sure. And it's going to be a very tight one here at the Den. Looking forward to this one. Two teams who've shown good signs in the opening weeks of the NPL Tasmania season, but now is the time to really kick on, start amassing points and climbing out of really the muddle that is mid-table of the NPL Tasmania this season, because it is so very tight, and games like this, real 6-point feel about them.
Yeah, especially between this one and the one we'll have tomorrow in Olympia South Hobart, the four teams comprising that logjam in spaces 4, 2, 7 on the NPL ladder, so they'll be wanting to pull ahead in some way, not get too bogged down, and you don't want to say it's a 6-pointer this early in the season in terms of making the top 4 for the whichever final series or cup competition we have at the end of this season.
Which is none, but anyway.
Which is none, no. We scrapped the Andrew Cooling Memorial League Cup.
Tragically we have. No, that I think you'll find the national final series starts. We'll be playing a Victorian team, I believe, the week after this ends.
Lovely.
So straight into it. They've got their own mess up there in Phil Victoria, so they want to play that date a little bit earlier. But our season's starting slightly later and a couple of extra weeks being allowed. No, obviously, football on that Easter Cup weekend where we doubled up, and I think it's just a better feel for the season. But tragically, it does mean the fight for sixth is a thing of the past, Paul. But just wait till next year when relegation comes in. And it will be on for young and olders. We've got a bit of net maintenance going on here to kick off the day, Paul. As big Sammy Watman using every inch of his height there. He's not impressed with that little hole in the corner. Doesn't want something sneaking in there and stitching him.
I'm trying to remember which league competition that was many years ago that had one go to the side. I think it was a Bundesliga game where the ball came in from the right-hand side and snuck in that top corner. I think it was for Leverkusen, and ended up being the phantom goal of the season in the Bundesliga. Yep. So Sammy Watman wanting to put an end to that one. Good to see Sam Watman back as well. He's a very impressive keeper in previous seasons here in the NPL. Went for the move up to Queensland, but decided to come back here for Rangers for a bit more extra game time. So good to see he's back as the referee has the whistle in his mouth, ready to start this match. And there he goes, Rangers kicking off. Kingborough kicking towards the hill end as mentioned, and will probably have the wind advantage to start with as Watman gets his foot on the ball, launches that one long. Joel Schuth underneath it, doesn't win the header. And flick on ball, and the keeper comes out, and O'Connell, bit of a mix-up. First time shot is pretty well shanked off the left foot there, but Rangers almost getting a goal-scoring opportunity within the first 20 seconds.
Yeah, slightly disorganised at the back there from the Lions, but nothing to worry about there in the end, as the shot was always drifting wide of the post. O'Connell passing short to Joel Schuth, immediately pressured, and Jones lets that one just squirm through the legs. Here's Chris Downs combining with Baker. Timmy Knoxville spreads it out wide here for Kansas. Return the ball immediately to Baker, who continued his run. He's charging into the box here. Baker, he crosses and Downs. Oh, couldn't control the direction of the shot. An early chance falling to Downs. It was on the non-preferred, but he's just got to do a little better there, I feel, Paul.
Yeah, certainly on the non-preferred, but in that situation there, it's crucial to keep your head well and truly over the ball and almost just aim your head for the ground just to avoid it skying like it did just there from Chris Downs. Both teams with an opportunity in the first minute, and that interplay between Baker and Downs. Baker was a relatively late arrival to the season, didn't do a full pre-season, and I think the chemistry is really starting to work between those two. As just looking at the corner flag in front of me, looks like it's about to get blown over here at Lightwood Park, and that goal kick is a testament to that. It's gone out in the full.
Yeah, it's causing some havoc, and they might be in behind here again. Crosses back, and it's a shot. It's a brilliant save from Sammy Watman. Oh, geez, he's done well to get down to that. It looked a goal for all money there. Jacob Calvert, I think, with the chance, but well done, Sammy Watman.
As the Kingborough Lions bin goes flying out of the technical area, Sam Watman went flying across the goal, and that big right paw stopping what looked like a certain goal. That is wonderful goalkeeping from the experienced custodian. And good firm save and well cleared by the defence. Kingborough really starting with some intent in this game. It's Gilly D'Souza on the ball in the bright green boots. That'll make him nice and easy to spot for the rest of the day. Nick Zammit taking up his customary role at left back, and Joel Schuth getting the ball, and after a frantic 2.5 minutes, I'll be able to actually name most of the team now. It's been pretty much all between about 4 players for both teams. Downs knocks that one forward. Oh, what great turn there from Di Martino, number 9, but playing more of a holding midfield role at the moment. Tim Baker making himself known in the centre of the park. Calls for handball given, was pretty accidental, but the arm was in an unnatural position. More strutting over to take this free kick to nobody's surprise will be Chris Downs, probably a bit far out. With this wind, anything is possible here today from Tasmania, arguably Tasmania's best free kick taker.
I'd be sticking it right on the goalie's head this early in the game. Having seen what the wind's done, just asked the question. He does just that and had the keeper scrambling, but it was always going wide. But I like the intent from Downs here. He's got the wind at his back to a certain extent. It's swirling around though, but not the worst option to try and pick out that far corner. And Watman just a little bit worried there for a second, I reckon.
If anything, he had too much wind behind it. And he had the right height and dip, and it had Watman scrambling towards his top corner, but ended up sailing wide as Watman launches that one in the full direction. Good flick on Hedo. First time touch from Kano, and this time Nick L.A. is in on goal, trying to get on the right foot. Crosses it into the back post, and a crucial header from Tobias Hevainen there. That was a crucial header. Stopped with 2 Rangers players right in the back there, and Di Martino wins the challenge and eventually knocked out of play by Pat L.A. Have a replay of that one. It's a lovely ball in from Nick L.A. And with 2 players just sitting waiting at the back post, Tobias Hevainen has done exceptionally well.
Yeah, he's an impressive young player, and he shows why there. Great defensive awareness from young Tobias, and crucial. He got a touch on that because they were lining up behind him. He gets a touch here, as does Hall, but it's Rangers who are soldiering on. One back again by Kingborough. Baker dropping it back for Hall. Now the Brazilian Gilly D'Souza. Joel Schuth with a little pass to Downs, and then for a bit of body contact with his opposite number, Lenau Atkinson. Hall had just straight offside, so he didn't go on with his run, and it'll end up being a goal kick anyway to Watman. And it'll be tough to negotiate today, I reckon, these goal kicks, because We've seen the impact it had on the first two. One went flying out to the left, the other flying out to the right.
I'm noticing Lino Scully's not wanting to play the short goal kick at all. No one within about 40 yards of Sam Watman, so he's going to continue to go with the long goal kick, but as we may see here, it's certainly holding up in the sky. Got good distance on that one this time, did Watman. Good headed one there by Will Humphrey. Another one in the bright green wheels. Out for a Kingborough throw, which will be taken on the far side, looking long in the whole direction. Well, one by Humphrey. 1-2 in the middle with Jones. It's going to be scrappy out there. Eventually, DiMartino knocks it forward, calls for handball, and I'm assuming that's given by the chest mark from DiMartino. Looks to switch the play first time. Just over the touch there, and not quite been able to control that one in the wind. It had a hell of a lot of spin on it. And it was Phil Kansos on the left-hand side. Watman again looks to launch this one long, and just look at the swerve on that. It's just kept in by Nick L.A. No, not quite. Referee with the flag up. And that had a hell of a amount of curl on it, Cooling.
Yeah, it certainly did. It was a good effort, I thought, by Nick L.A. trying to keep it in, but just couldn't quite manage to do so as Montikio played it forward there. Now Pat Lanau-Atkinson, always a dangerous customer down the right. He dwells on the ball and waits for something to present itself. Eventually a little dink into the path of the Argentinian, who shows quick feet to get past two. Spreads it wide for Nick Lanau-Atkinson. He'll want to get onto his left foot, and well aware of that was Zammit, and he just stood him up nicely, conceding the first corner here for Lanau-Atkinson to try and curl in with that lovely left foot of his. Just the three in the box at the moment to pick out. A couple more starting to venture in there now as Lanau-Atkinson swings towards the near post. Easily repelled away though by Calvert. Baker goes to Kansos, who just sets it out in front and says chase after that. And it rolls out of play in the end. Wasn't the greatest service you're looking for as a frontman there, I don't think?
No, certainly not, but just a true idea of that slope in the far corner that you get here at Lightwood Park. Any balls down that left-hand side, you usually roll out of play. It's quite the lean on it with the new drainage here at Lightwood Park. There's Rangers deep in their own half. Referee making sure the thrower doesn't steal a few yards.
He was onto him. He was onto him. Knew what he was trying to do. It's a good throw in the end. Tight confines. Federico Cano did well, and Rangers will now perhaps go the switch down the other flank, and they work it wide. Toe in from Hawaiian. Now a long ball over the top that might just spring Jones. Just waits for it and then tried to roll it into the path of Pat Lanau-Atkinson, but Phil Kansos all over it, and just, perhaps not quite on the same page as LA there, and have a little bit of a chat afterwards. He's making a slightly different run, but now it's Jones's turn to present. An option ignored. Drops it back, and Pat LA just works it off of Baker, gets another throw. Here's Nick Lanau-Atkinson swerving one way, then the other, lost his footing. They eventually work it away from him. As far as Pat LA, that's a wonderful cross and stooping to get there, but not quite able to. Didn't quite pick up where that was at the far post, but William Humphrey almost getting on the end of it. It's a couple of good balls that Rangers have swung across the box. First from Nick Lanau-Atkinson, that from Pat. Neither of them far away from opening the scoring here as they get a free kick.
Humphrey at the back post. He was terribly close before when Vinen headed ball clear, and that was even closer. It's missed his head by about a centimetre off there, but they'll have another opportunity from this free kick. They've got 6 in the box this time. Goes near post and well cleared there by Chris Downs at the front post. Calvert not quite getting his foot on it. Chip through ball right to the head of Joel Truth. Chris Downs plays it back. Lovely bit of skill there from Tobias, who then just fires it directly into the foot of a Rangers player. He'll win the throw in there off Christie. And We were talking in pre-game about where Kingborough will end up top. It certainly looks like they're sitting Jacob Calvert up there for most of the game. He seems to be playing the central striker role. He wins the ball here. Lovely 1-2 played. Will he get the ball back? He's got a free player on the far side. Kansos calling for it. Still hasn't gone there yet. Baker with a lovely slide ball. Good slide tackle in the end there. Well, I think Lucas denying a gilt-edged chance there for Kingborough.
Yeah, Hall combining quite nicely here. He's lining up on the right and he linked up well. That's a crucial intervention at the last moment and saves the day for the Rangers there. But good play from the Lions and they look to build again through DiMartino. Downs with a first-time hit. That's easily repelled and now Rangers will look to counter. It was a fierce drive across the face towards Nick LA. Couldn't quite pick him out. Kansos spreads it again down to that corner and there is nobody there. So that one will just roll out and maybe they can try to box them in again with the wind as it is.
It's not a bad ploy at Lightwood Park to try and box them in that corner. Kansos passing it to where he would usually be making that run.
Look at that slope. He's an impressive gradient. That is, yeah. On Tour de France, that'd be getting up there in the classifications, I reckon, Paul.
I reckon it's a Cat 4 climb in Giro d'Italia overnight. King of the Mountains prize for Pat LA for the amount of times he's probably have to climb up that today.
Yeah, he'd be the early leader, the right back in a good position when the King of the Mountains here at Lightwood Park. As this one swung towards Nicola now Atkinson, dispossessed well by Gilly de Souza though. Spreads it wide for Hall. Hall back in towards Baker. They're trying these little combination plays. Baker and Hall, they've looked lively early on, but instead it's Northern Rangers countering back the other way. Federico Cano, bit of a heavy touch. Joel Schuth all over him. He wanted a free kick. None forthcoming as Pat Lanau Atkinson swings in a dangerous looking ball. O'Connell gets it at the second attempt there before Humphrey can impact, and then the release over the top will carry all the way to Watman. So you can see again the wind really at work there. Corner flag's about to blow out.
It was a near great kick from O'Connell. He did that off one step and it's gone about 50 metres, but will break from that first time shot with the outside of the foot.
Jones.
It is Jones storming through the middle and didn't really make much connection. Had time for a touch then as well. Could have just put that on the right foot and curled that one in. Went for the first time shot and probably just needed a shout from a teammate there, I think.
Yeah, I think he probably didn't want to take it on the left, but if he takes a touch out to that side, he's got plenty of space to work in. So just the wrong option there from Jones on that occasion. So a few almost moments in attack for these sides. Quite the gilt-edged chances, but a couple of very close moments with the defenders just getting in at the last second. That one over Humphrey and will be a throw in. Zammit to take.
Let's hope this one doesn't go flying over the back of his head like you see in some of those videos. Sometimes it doesn't. It goes into the box. As far as Baker, turns nicely. He's got plenty of skill. Trying to get on the left peg. Goes into the centre, deflected at the back post and then chipped over the goal. There was no one coming up from defence there by the look of it. Took a deflection. Didn't even quite see who that was with the shot, to be honest. I think it was Hall.
The right winger just getting involved again and well blocked by Lucas there. So Kingborough with a little bit of a spell of pressure here as we tick into the 15th minute of the game. They've put in a couple of good crosses. Chris Downs might look at testing the keeper again with this one with the swirling conditions. DiMartino bursting near post. That was the target. Repelled by the first defender, Gilly de Souza. Trying to shape it across to Baker, return the ball to de Souza, but just overcooked it a little. And behind it goes for the goal kick. Quarter of an hour in, and both teams had a couple of good moments here. Pretty back and forth contest so far. Neither team really dominating by any stretch. And I think largely as we forecasted, Paul, it's just going to be who's going to be able to have that one moment of quality that could change things.
Yeah, it's pretty much as we were thinking in the first half. I'm still surprised we haven't seen a short goal kick yet in the first 15 minutes, especially with the attacking talent the amount we've had, as that ball well intercepted and Watman hits that one into the training ground. That has gone a mile. Fortunately, Zamet is pretty quick on getting the new ball.
Jeez, stitch up for us to chase after that one as it landed in a lake rather than clearing the fence. But like Kingborough will be fished out of that one, and we'll get back to it eventually. As it's steered back to Joel Schuth, who immediately drives one straight into the hands of Watman. Just not quite picking out his teammates down there. Now Watman again with a low flat delivery. That was a better one. So they try and get in behind Tobias Sawainen, who defended his flank expertly. Throws it back to De Souza. Lime green wheels. He changes the play with a wonderful pass for an offside Phil Kansos. The flag immediately raised, but given the conditions, what a wonderful pass that was from De Souza.
Yeah, beautifully using the conditions to his advantage there, Gilly De Souza. He's a man who's quite a connoisseur of hot chocolates and Tasmania's wonderful pastry scene. Here's the import Gilly De Souza, and he's certainly put that one out wide in a beautiful direction, much like a nice vanilla slice, that one from the centre-back. Watman now with the goal kick. Certainly playing a more of a direct style here today are the Rangers. Watman launches that one for Humphrey. And well cut out from Zamet. Now Kansos. Couldn't quite find Downs. Kano doesn't get through either. Only meets Di Martino. His shirt pulled there surely all over the back of him. No free kick called. And now just thumped clear as far as Gilly De Souza. Nice ball from Tiki. First time we've really seen him in action today, and he's beaten there. Lovely through ball in the direction of Baker. Still on the left-hand side. He's got pace to burn as the American. He's got Kansos for company. Ignores him. Goes near post. Toe to it, and good save from Watman. He's held on well there, the big keeper.
There's not many that get the better of Pat Lanau Atkinson, but Timmy Baker has got him behind him a couple of times in the opening 20 minutes here. His pace really causing issues for Lanau Atkinson, who did a good job, stuck with him all the way to the byline, but then he quickly turned back inside and he still managed to get a very good quality cross in, proving a nightmare to defend at the moment. He's Timmy Knoxville. And there's certainly been the Lions' biggest threat in the opening going of this one. He works that one in towards Calvert there. Steered away from him, but a couple of good moments in attack for the Lions, but most of their best work coming down this left-hand side through Baker, taking off on those runs. When he drops the shoulders, he's hard to track down. He's got some serious wheels about him.
And again, Pat Lanau Atkinson not allowed to steal any yards from the throw-in. Very strict interpretation of that today. Humphrey off the thigh. And an immediate turnover. Zamet looking to take it quickly to the feet of Kansos. He does exceptionally well in traffic. Touch just stays in. He's done well as Baker, but now turnover, and Humphrey switching with Nick Lanau Atkinson, who plays a no-look pass to nobody in particular. On the far side is Hall. Another one in some loud orange wheels, but that's good covering challenge there from Lucas. Now for a throw to Kingborough. And jogging across to take it. Back to Gilly De Souza. He's got a bit of time to play with here, the centre-back, and looks to split the defence. And ends up with Hall, who's going to burst into the box. Tries to cut it back, and well defended eventually there from Rangers. Good team defending back there. It was, I think it was that Tiki coming across. No, number 12. It was Alex Fulton coming across to make the final clearance.
Yeah, reliable part of this Rangers back four. His brother missing from the midfield today, but Alex very much got the build of a centre-half. He's a rangy figure. Again, buzzing about, trying to make things happen is Baker. Wayne and Di Martino under pressure. He's holding the ball, but he's under duress here. He's still shielding it. And he did well in the end, did Di Martino. Worked it back to the centre-half Schuth, who went to De Souza, immediately returned it. Now he tries to swing one the Kansos direction. Again, he's just straight offside here. Just a lack of discipline there from Phil Kansos. Twice now, he's just not held that run in time. And they've killed what could have been promising moves.
No, they're doing very well at keeping the ball here Kingborough today, especially in defence, not panicking, and some nice interplay on the far side, and you get that space where all the Rangers players have pressed to one side, and Cansos, he's beating the space, it's just holding the run with Linnell Atkinson as that one is out on the full from Sam Watman. And he getting a little inaccurate with the kickouts here. Here's Watman. Certainly the breeze has died down a little, especially since the 5 to 10 minute mark. Zammit just about falling on his face there. Just managed to hold his balance in time. Goes down the line anyway. Good flick on header from Cansos. Calvert not really doing a lot with that one. Zammit again with Baker and Cansos closest to him. And eventually it takes about 5 Rangers players and they eventually get there. And now Humphrey. He's got DiMartino for company, and then the curl through ball. Keeper should come out for that one. Elects to not. Kano for a great save from O'Connell. Got a huge paw to that one. And I was ready for the Argentinian goal-like call there, but O'Connell puts a good palm out.
Yeah, it's a good save. He just gets a piece of it. It was only a fraction. I reckon it was probably just the thumb rather than the full hand, but it was enough to deny the Argentine what would have been a fine opening goal, but they've got a corner. The Lions back on mass to defend this one. It's swung in. Dangerous ball again. O'Connell comes across to deal with it. Secondary cross hit back in. Makes Monticchio work for it. And Cansos will clear the area and loft it long, looking for Baker. Fulton had that under control. His header went straight to Hall, though. Threads it back to Baker. And well defended again from Fulton there. Flying across in coverage and doing well at the back. So it's just a bit of rain starting to come down out there now. Yeah, conditions quite nasty up there.
4 seasons in the first 22 minutes here at Lightwood Park as Devinen jogs across to take the throw-in, goes short to Hall, receives it back. And he's got DiMartino or Baker, finds Baker, who goes to the near post, calls for handball, and yeah, luckily that is given by the referee. Kicked that one into his forearm. Did Cansos. Pretty obvious call there under pressure from Fulton. Now we'll see what Watman can do with this free kick opportunity. He's hasn't really hit too many feet from these long kicks so far in the breeze as Watman. Not sure about the rain. I haven't seen any fans go ducking for cover, which is usually a sign of rain here at Kingborough. Usually there's mass migration from the stand in front of us. And again, Watman out on the full. That's the 4th or 5th one he's hit already today.
Yeah, it's a tough day for the keeper, managing the goal kicks, but at least needs to start a bit more centrally. Tough to try and hit those wide passes right for your wingers. Not a lot of margin for error. Vainen throws it down the line, turned over. Here come the Rangers back the other way. Kano. He's felled. That'll be a free kick. Joel Schuth arguing the point, but pretty easy decision that one for the referee. And indeed, a dose of dairy for Joel Schuth. So a slice of cheese dished out there for the foul on the Argentinian striker, who's still down.
We've had a few niggles at Kano already today, nothing major, but then with the first one today, he goes into the book. A dose of dairy for Joel Schuth. As well, have a look at the replay. Here, Kano gets a toe in, and yeah, leading with the left foot, studs up right on the ankle. That one certainly hurts, especially if the ankle then rolls over. That can cause some serious damage, and probably a well-deserved slice of cheddar there for Joel Schuth.
Yeah, don't think you can argue that one too much. Good decision by the referee. Linnell Atkinson goes the direct option, and O'Connell comfortably collects. And playing Christie there, who made the central run straight out the keeper.
I haven't seen a lot of O'Connell, but if you were to draw up a goalkeeper from scratch, he's certainly got the frame and size. Maybe I've just been watching too much NFL draft action with my verticals and height and weight, but he seems like an impressive specimen for a goalkeeper. And as eventually Rangers clear that one right to the chest of Gilly D'Souza. Now Hall. Swap positions temporarily with Havinen, but only goes as far as a throw in. And not a whole lot of movement up front, so elects to go to Di Martino, who launches that one at his neck, and good luck trying to keep that one in from such a short angle. Another throw in taken on the far side. And still not a whole lot of options presenting. Kano eventually tries to touch it on to Nick LA. Now down the line is Baker. The pace of Baker looks to launch that one first time. Cancel's hadn't quite made the run in. And eventually the Hill lets that one out for... We've got one calling goal kick and one calling throw in. See which one the referee elects to use. Usually it goes with the central ref. And in this instance it looks like it's a throw in. There's Lino Scully there, coach of Rangers, walks out to bark some instructions at his team. Certainly been penned in that corner a fair bit this match here. Someone's launched high into the sky. Calvin underneath it. Doesn't quite reach it. Launch clear from Rangers. It seems we would have a heat map here at Lightwood Park. The last 10 minutes, it's pretty much been all down Kingborough's end. Save Paul Cano's shot. Someone's launched in the direction of Pat LA. Cansos knocks that one out for a throw. And then Scully attempting to inspire some confidence into his team. And Patler takes that one short to an ever-retreating Kano and then just volleys that one right into the Kingborough dugout. And it's all getting a bit scrappy in the corner down here as Nick Zammit puts it right back there, and again another throw in. It's almost like a continuous kick for touch game here and expecting line-outs, rugby union style, and finally there's a switch of play through to Calvert, who then hits it looking for the run of Baker, but he was making a diagonal. And that one rolls out harmlessly for a goal kick. So 29 minutes played, 27 minutes played here at Lightwood Park. Still 0-0 between Kingborough and Rangers, or the NRA as we're calling them on our scoreboard here today. Certainly haven't hit any bullseyes yet, have the Rangers.
Just waiting for their apocalyptic TV commercial to come out, really. Should be out any day soon. Arm up, people, as this one's worked in the Nick Linnell-Atkinson direction. He's got a chance here. Nick LA just didn't catch it right, rolled it rather tamely at the keeper in the end, whose distribution a little questionable. I don't think Calvert was his target, but it worked out just fine in the end. And now Hall will look to get in down the right. He's well marshalled though, tries to put a move on him, but nicely defended. Rangers have come out of this one nicely. They might be able to launch on the counter-attack. Di Martino broke it up though. Now the clever Baker. Back to Di Martino. Havainen gets felled. Play on the call. Kano hasn't got anything in front of him, so he's just got to charge off goal, wouldn't wait for support. Eventually he was clipped, and I reckon there was a pretty handy advantage just opening up there, which hasn't been allowed. And will we see a dose of dairy for Di Martino?
You've got to see a dose of dairy if you're pulling it up there from the referee. There was someone, a player down on the right-hand side. Kano beats a second here, and that's a very ugly attempt at a challenge there from Di Martino. Even if he did get a little bit of the ball with the heel there, you can't go tackling like that.
He's got enough of the ball there to avoid the bookie in the end, but Jesus, a risky style challenge that one. You don't get the ball, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, we're anywhere south of this ground at Lightwood Park, you're in farming country, and that was a very agricultural attempt at a challenge from Di Martino, as that one's launched towards the, well, it was heading towards the near post, and the wind's held it up. Now Nick LA trying to duck inside of Einen. Does very well, and now Baker trying to show off his speed. Good covering defence from Fulton again. Bails out his team there with Baker storming down the right-hand side. He really does have freedom of movement, does Baker. Now with Einen. Bit of a heavy touch. Now on the counter-attack, our Rangers, but eventually snuffed out. Gilly D'Souza will try and keep that one in, and does. Got the opportunity to switch the play here, and does so to Joel Schuth. And he's got two wingers down here. Zammit overlapping, goes to Cansos. And just a bit of a heavy pass there from Calvert. The striker Giving away possession a little cheaply there. Arm wrestle going on down here with Carno. And he's got Zammit for company and ends up with 4 Kingborough players around him. Does well to win a throw. He just draws a lot of defenders, does the Argentinian. He's a real focal point of this Rangers team. And if you can draw 4 defenders like that and get the pass through, you should have a fair few options free. As that one's launched in his direction again. Cansos for the pace of Baker and took a bit of a shoulder barge. He's nearly had his shirt ripped off as well. Cansos back to Baker. Back to Cansos, working well down the left-hand side. They'll go back to the American. Oh, launch that one towards the back post. Hall waiting, and Havinen doesn't really make clean contact with that one at all. And calls for a corner kick, so not a bad outcome for Kingborough, but Timothy Baker, the Knoxville, no, is he Nashville or Knoxville?
Knoxville.
Timmy
Knoxville.
He's causing all sorts of problems down on the left-hand side.
Not too far away from each other, the 2 big cities in Tennessee, I guess, but no, definitely from Knoxville.
Getting my Tennessee cities mixed up here.
Yeah, you want the college football rather than the NFL, Paul. It's a chance from the corner here for the Lions to take the lead as we pass the half-hour mark of a pretty open game thus far. Cansos goes near post. Behind it goes for a goal kick. And the Kingborough players, fair to say, not particularly in agreement with that decision, but the linesman suggesting the last touch from one of them gives Watman the chance to relieve the pressure. I'm not entirely sure the cap's required today either from Sammy Watman, although midway through the half maybe it will be, given the weather we've seen today. But not a whole lot of sun out there to get in the eyes, I would have thought. As he smashes this one along. Flicked on by Christie. A wrestling match breaking out there with Joel Schuth involved. Now wide on the right for Humphrey. Goes with the left. That's a wonderful ball to the back post for Linnell Atkinson! Nick Linnell Atkinson through the 5-hole. Right between the legs of O'Connell. It's a wonderful first-time finish. An even better cross from Humphrey, and Rangers take the lead.
Nicolay they've certainly had opportunities at that back post. Most of the crossing opportunities have come down the right-hand side. And Nicolay strokes that one home well. Humphrey putting in a wonderful ball on the left peg, right to the foot of Nicolay. It takes plenty of composure to control that. He's hit it sweetly, and as you said, right between the legs of Nick O'Connell. And Rangers, well, they're certainly not winning the possession battle here today, and now in front. And they're the first team to hit the bullseye. Altman now already playing some time-wasting tricks. And yeah, very impressive finish from Nick L.A. He's a club stalwart. And does exceptionally well there from the wing as Watt launches that one towards Humphrey. One of the assists of the year there, I've got to say, from Humphrey. It was a gorgeous cross. Now, Padilla taking the throw in. So we're giving our producer some lessons on 2018 culture.
No, I don't know about 2018 culture. Maybe Brassington and Linnell Atkinson culture. A little A-Town celebration, just throwing our producer off a bit with the customary celebration from Nick Linnell Atkinson. And he's been able to wheel off with that one a few times in the past couple of years. He's got a handy goal scoring record. And Nick L.A., with a very tidy finish indeed, has got us off and running at the Den this afternoon. Di Martino trying to pick out Baker, but they've turned it over, and the wide ball again for Linnell Atkinson, just looking to shield and then turn past Havane and crosses a dangerous ball into the box there. Couldn't pick out Kano though. Chris Downs away. And Lucas will just let this one run. They go all the way, the wind behind it, but got himself into a little bit of trouble, but just had enough to get over the line. Baker was certainly going to make him sweat on it.
Yeah, certainly can't fault the Americans' endeavour there in chasing that one down. And once again, Watman will take the goal kick from this side of the goal. He really doesn't like taking it from the other side, I've noticed. It's always from the same spot. He's got a few options out here, and that one will fall in the direction of Lucas, but a foul given. There's Jones on the foul. Sorry, Jones winning the foul. And another opportunity here for Rangers. We've seen a wonderful through ball from Humphrey down this side, but he elects to run away and leave this one for Christie. Got Patler, sorry, he's got Patler short if he needs him. Full waiting at the back post as Christie launches that one in that direction to the head of Carno. Still not cleared, gets up again the Argentinian. Wins it back. Now Nick L.A. gets on the right foot again and did that with the outside of the foot. All harmlessly for a goal kick. As we have a look at that corner flag, barely staying in the ground on the near side. It's what we've been using as our wind marker up here in the commentary box all game.
Yeah, it's been given a good guide. That and the trees look like they're about to go crashing down behind the goals at the other end. It really is howling down at the Den today. It's Northern Rangers leading thanks to Nick Lanau-Atkinson. Paul dispossessed. And now it's Lanau-Atkinson who just spied O'Connell off his line and went for the chipped effort, but didn't get nearly enough of that one. Sousa. Across to Joel Schuth. Back to Gilly de Souza. The centre-back's just passing from side to side. So they pick the moment to go and he knocks it over the top for Baker. Just a little heavy for Timothy Baker to get onto there. But they were just patient, the centre-halves. They waited and waited until finally they saw the opening as we have another look at this goal. It really was wonderful. No, we won't. We won't have a look at it. Here we go. Humphrey's delivery expert. Just saw the space in front of him, guided him to the ball. And that is a very tough skill from Nick Lanau-Atkinson to just direct it on target first time like that out of the air. Thanks for coming.
Bit of A-Town celebration as well from Nick L.A. as we noticed on the replay, and to pick that ball out of the air. 40-yard crossfield ball in this wind, it really takes some skill from Nick L.A. Now, one of the best marksmen in NPL is Nick L.A., especially for Rangers. And Joel Schuth ups that one high into the sky. And again, the kick for touch to the hill end is working a treat for Kingborough. Now doing it 1-0 down though. What can they do from this one here? Patler again tries to steal 5 to 10 yards and the referee's not having it.
He's been trying it all day.
And then launches it directly out of play without it having gone in the slightest. And in one of the worst rules in football, he gets another go. It's a shocker. It's one of our gripes up here at Slice of Cheese.
Yeah, look, I've said it 1,000 times. If you're not good enough to throw the ball in, you don't get a second attempt. It's rewarding mediocrity as Gilly de Souza charges forward here. He loves to maraud forwards the Brazilian centre-half. They've lost a hold of this one, though, and Nick Lanau-Atkinson gets it on halfway. He plays the 1-2. Back to Nick L.A. He'll think about sliding it through, and eventually he does, but again, it's slightly overhit and comfortably collected by O'Connell. Rolls out to Di Martino. And build from the back again. So in the 39th minute here, that was dicey. They've turned it over. Schuth winning it back. Good decision making in the end from Schuth. He realised he probably wasn't going to get to it, so he just held so he could immediately launch the tackle rather than trying to win the ball. I think that was intelligent defensive play there from Joel Schuth. Problem developing in front of him, but snuffed it out as Jones rolls it for Lanau-Atkinson. De Souza away from him. Schuth has 2 Rangers on his 6. He just turns away and does well to win the throw in the end. So.
Yeah, I was just thinking that did very well. He couldn't pass it back to the keeper with Nicolay on one side and Humphrey on the other. He didn't really, his teammates didn't give him too much help there down in the back corner, so he's done very well there as Joel Schuth. Savinen now is back for the throw in and he casually launches that one to D'Souza, who's brought the pace of the game to an absolute standstill there. Rangers really sitting off and not wanting to commit too many men forward with the press. Baker to Kansos. Tries to roll the back heel there, but Kano uses his body exceptionally well. And again, he's been really impressive in this first half in holding up the ball. Now Schuth wins the aerial ball over Nicola. Zammit puts that one through to Baker, surely offside, and is. I thought Tiki And Fulton stepped up expertly well there for Rangers. And I don't think Watman will be in a terrible hurry to take this free kick.
5 to go, yeah. I think they'll be content to go into the sheds with a 1-goal lead, Bob.
Yeah, I certainly would be. If I was Coach Scully on the road. As that one's launched in the direction of Carno. DiMartino goes for the nutmeg on the captain, and Nicolet's not having a bar of that one. Wrestling with Downs to get it back. Foul not called from DiMartino on Carno. And Rangers won't mind this turning into a scrappy contest. I think Kingborough would want rather the width and the pace to use to their advantage. If it continues to get bogged down like this, I'd certainly favour Rangers in that sort of contest.
I think the fact that we've got a lead heading into this second half is going to be big, because I do think the wind is an advantage for the Lions. If anything this half, it's pretty tough sledding playing into that. And I think they've done a really good job to be ahead in this game, the Rangers, as Fulton works it forward. Schuth was there, towering header, works it to Chris Downs, who's just going to try and catch the keeper off. Downs! Onto the roof of the net from 55 yards. That would have been goal of the year right there. And almost catching the keeper out. Chrissy Downs, he knew exactly what he was doing.
Unlike last year's second placing goal of the season, that was a deliberate attempt by Chris Downs there to try and chip the keeper, and he's not far off. 50 out inside his own half on the volley. He's an impressive customer. Here's Chris Downs, but unfortunately just hit that about a metre too far. There's Watman now. Goes the low drive. Luckily falls to his right back, who's immediately shut down by Kansos. And he wins the throw in, much to the chagrin of Patler. Referee asking for no more back chat. Zammit launches that one to Baker, gets the inside ball to Kansos, tries to find Downs. Back to Zammit. Very, very short pass there from Zammit. Leads to a turnover. Carno slips past one challenge. Now there's D'Souza for company. The two imports go at it, and Rangers manage to win the free kick, which again, they'll look to kill some time off the clock. Get into half-time with this 1-goal margin. And D'Souza did pretty well there from the defence. There was counter-attacking opportunity and held the play up, but didn't do as much to get its slice of cheese, so he's done quite well there. That's the defender. Sticking his foot in the ground there is Christie, almost like a rugby league kicking for two, as that one's gone to the back post, and D'Souza gets up, Schuth gets up, Carno with the touch. Tries to go back to Humphrey, who dispossessed by Calvert, who puts in Baker. He's down there on the left-hand side, just covering across. And Watman with a pretty good kick clearance. Baker again causing all sorts of trouble coming in from the blind side. Downs can't quite find Hall. And really got to be wary of Baker on the counter-attack through the Rangers' defence.
Yeah, Kingborough looking for him at every opportunity. If they can play that long diagonal and get him isolated one-on-one against the defender, they'll back him in every time. With the pace he's got, why not? But Fulton doing a really good job staying with him there. Some good wheels himself, the big centre half. Here is Baker. Once again, he's been prominent. Across to Kansos. Now a chance for a cross from Zammit. Top of the box, coming across was Monticchio. Dealt with that nicely. D'Souza. And DiMartino to Schuth. All the Lions players pushing up inside their own half. Baker. Wide for Zammit. Back in towards Kansos, but steered away by Fulton. Christie. Now Patler, now Atkinson. Sends it long. Sounds like always had that one well under control though, and he works it back to Schuth. Turns it to the Brazilian. Kansos. Zammit countering that one off of Patler, now Atkinson, as we tick inside the final 30 seconds of the half here at the Den. It's the visitors, Northern Rangers, a goal to the good. Nick Lanau Atkinson with the goal that has his side ahead. It's been a pretty even first 45 on balance. The team has really pulled away from each other. Both had their moments, but Nick Lanau Atkinson the difference right now, thanks to a wonderful cross from Humphrey in the build-up. That one down the line doesn't give Havana much of a chance. It just feels like the game going through the motions a little as we tick towards the half here. Both teams probably happy to head into the sheds.
Yeah, I certainly think Rangers will be happy to go in with 1-0 to the good. Lions probably just need to slightly rethink their strategy for the second half. Just a bit of tinkering, and possibly they really tried that switch of play early with Kansos, and if he stayed onside it would have been quite promising as they go for it again, and this time offside given on Havainen. I don't often see the right back getting offside calls. Surely this will lead to the last kick of the first half. Very much going through the motions here, and the wind has certainly played an impact in possibly the low passing game here today. Rangers just taking their opportunity, and just that extra smart bit of talent there. Nick LA slotting in calmly from the back post as that one's launched in the direction of Christie. Headed back to Patler, who hasn't got a whole lot of options down there at the slope, but does exceptionally well. And eventually that is half time. The second whistle then, and Rangers will certainly be the happier of the two sides here down at Lightwood Park, heading in with a 1-0 to the good. Scully still not smiling despite the 1-0 lead.
Oh, look, I think we might see a smile from Lino surely if they're in front after 90 minutes, not 45, but at the moment it's just a job half done. But he'll be very happy with what his troops have produced, playing into the wind in that first half. It was a good effort, and Nicola now Atkinson's volley has got them in the ascendancy. Mark Broadbent and the Kingborough Lions with it all to do in the second 45 from a windswept Lightwood Park. And we'll be back after a short break with that second half. Can the Lions reel them in, or will the Rangers be heading back up the highway with 3 points in tow? Stick around and find out. Crosses and downs. Oh, couldn't control it. I reckon. Yeah, it's causing some havoc, and they might be in behind here again. Crosses back, and it's a shot. It's a brilliant save from Sammy Watman. Oh, geez, he's done well to get right on the goalie's head this early in the game. Having seen what the wind's done, just asked the question. He does just that, and had the keeper scrambling, but
Time touch from Kano, and this time Nick LA is in on goal, trying to get on the right. Cook crosses it into the back post, and a crucial header. And that's given by the chest mark from Di Martino. Looks to switch the play first time. Just over the touch there. And not quite been able to control that one in the wind. It had a hell of a lot of spin on it.
Moving one way, then the other, lost his footing. And eventually work it away from him. As far as Pat LA, that's a wonderful cross, and stooping to get there, but not.
Ensos goaling for it, still hasn't gone there yet. Baker with a lovely slide ball. Good slide tackle in the end there. And I think Lucas trying
a free kick. None forthcoming as Patler now Atkinson swings in a dangerous looking ball. O'Connell gets it at the second attempt there before Humphrey.
Skill trying to get on the left. He goes into the centre, deflected at the back post and then chipped over the goal. There's the American. He's got Kansos for company. He ignores him, goes near post, toe to it, and good save from Watman. Ends up with Hall, who's going to burst into the box, tries to cut it back, and well defended eventually there from Rangers. Good team defending back there with company, and then the curl through ball. Keeper should come out for that one. Elects to not. Kano for a great save from O'Connell. Got a huge paw to that.
It's back on mass to defend this one. It's swung in. Dangerous ball again. O'Connell comes across to deal with it. Secondary cross back in, makes it, or is it down the line, turned over. Here come the Rangers back the other way. Kano spelled a free kick. decision by the referee. Lanau Atkinson goes the direct option. O'Connell hit the legs. Arm up, people, as this one's worked in the Nick Lanau Atkinson direction. He's got a chance here. Nick LA just didn't catch it right, rolled it rather tamely at the keeper. Kano hasn't got anything in front of him, so he's just got to charge off goal, wouldn't wait for support. Eventually, he was clipped, and I reckon there. Joel Schuth involved. Now wide on the right for Humphrey. Goes with the left. That's a wonderful ball to the back post for Lanau Atkinson! Nick Lanau Atkinson through the 5-hole, right between the legs of O'Connell. It's a wonderful first-time finish. An even better cross from Humphrey, and Rangers take the lead.
Nicola is.
Schuth was there, towering header, works it to Chris Downs, who's just going to try and catch the keeper off. Downs! Onto the roof of the net from 50. And we are back for the second half down at the Den. The Northern Rangers with a 1-goal lead. Nick Lanau Atkinson volleying home to give his side the ascendancy after 45 minutes, but plenty still to play for in this one. It's a wide open game as we have a look at some of the action from the first half. It was a really sharp save from Sammy Watman, keeping the scores at 0-0 at that point. Baker, he was lively down that flank. He set up a couple of chances. Watman again doing well there to deny Calvert for the second time. And this was a good piece of keeping from O'Connell. Just got the thumb to it. It was just enough to keep it wide. And that made sure it was still locked up. It's 0-0 at that point. Just got some problems with the playback there, but I'm sure we're getting to the Nick Lanau Atkinson goal. It was all building up to that in the first half, and here it is, Humphrey sending in a wonderful cross, great vision, wonderful execution, and then Lanau Atkinson through the legs. Great technique there from the Rangers skipper. As we're just about ready to get back underway, and Northern Rangers will have that howling wind at their backs in the second half, which should help them. And it's certainly going to make things tough.
Yeah, the wind has certainly not died down for those who were with us in the first half. It potentially has even creeped up a tad as play is underway. Immediately shirt pull there, and our first slice of cheddar within 3 seconds of the second half. That's one of the earliest slice of cheese in the second half I've ever seen. Quickly free taken. Being told that just about is the first earliest slice of cheese in the second half. So, yeah, it's Daniel Christie with the shirt pull. And Kingborough, an early opportunity and a howling breeze coming across Lightwood Park. Also a very short definition of 10 yards as well there from Nick LA. Ball comes in low, right to the head of Christie. And again, Downs looks to the back post, but it'll fall comfortably into the arms of Watman, who immediately launches a huge throw. That's gone 60 yards on the first bounce. And Gilly D'Souza expertly wins the throw-in. No, it's kept in play and eventually wins a goal kick. So he's done well there, has the Kingborough defender. As we see, you can just even tell it's Lino Scully's Arsene Wenger-like jackets blowing in the breeze, how windy it is down there today. So O'Connell looks like he's going to launch this one long, refusing all the short options. We have the same difficulty in accuracy that Watman had in the first half. And that's pretty much just held up and gone about 25 metres. So Kano gets that one in the attacking area. Humphrey trying to play it through, but good defence from Kingborough. Nice bit of skill there from Kano, and wins a throw in. And she is absolutely howling down there. You know when it's coming up through into the media box. One of the windier days here in NPL Taz.
Yeah, those corner flags are getting closer and closer to the ground. They're getting more horizontal as the game wears on. Schuth repels this one to Souza. Won't worry about it in the end as it goes through to young O'Connell in goals. He immediately gets him going with a real heave. It was a good ball in the end. And tidy work there from Tobias Avainen. Cut inside, then he got into a little bit of trouble. Went back, thought his way through it. Hall, a foul in fact called in the build-up there. So DeSouza quickly takes it and they try to sneak him behind through Baker. The Rangers were alert to that one though. Clever thinking from the Brazilian, just said, I'll have this, and immediately took it. Hawainen for Baker. Turning. And back he goes for DiMartino. Trying to create something. It's a great ball to Kansas! Just off target. It wasn't far away. A couple of good crosses have come in from this right wing today, and that was damn near where Humphrey's assist came from. Just using the wind well, and Kansas made terrific contact onto the roof of the net. Not far away.
That's right to the forehead. Field Kansas coming in off the wing. It was, if it gone in, it was almost an identical goal to Nick LA's. One with the head, one with the foot, and certainly had every opportunity there, Kansas. A gilt-edged chance in the first half as Sam Watman's towels made its way onto the pitch temporarily. He'll now launch that one forward. Flick on headers. Geez, just about nearly gone in. That was a lot closer than it looked at first instance there. Would have been a goal without it having touched the ground.
He's used the wind expertly to power that header. And wowee. That was a sharp chance. And whoa. Now, I know the wind's a factor, Paul Hunt. But I think the ground might have played more of a role in that one as he skewed that one out of play. That was a rank slice off the tee.
Absolute rank slice, that one. That would have been, would have needed a drop ball for that one if it was golf, and just take it again as Kano restores some civility to the match. Gets that one underneath the defender, and Gilly D'Souza will try and hoof that one clear. Good turn in the end from Hall. Calvert, Baker tries to keep it in, but to no avail. Throw in taken by Lucas. D'Souza gets in front of his continental compatriot. That one, assuming, is a free kick, judging by the lack of urgency and chasing that one down from either side. One of the substitutes collecting the ball there. And turns out it wasn't. It was just no one really wanted to chase that one down into the wind, so O'Connell will have take 3 in terms of his goal kicks. That's a bit better contact. Rising high in the centre. Up again goes Humphrey. Calvert misses the flick on header. Roberts knocks it forward. Chased down the far side by Nick LA. Looks to get onto the left foot, but good defence in the end. Kanslos comes up with it. Baker calling for it. Can he stay on side? He has done for the moment, but the through ball has gone to nobody in particular, and Lucas will just thump that one clear. You can almost claim that as a shot off target there. He's kicked that with some venom.
Just hoofing it forwards and the wind doing the rest here. It's picked up, if anything, in the half-time break. It has got even more severe, which is going to make things pretty tough out there for the players in the second 45. And O'Connell definitely preferred the first half with his goal kicks. The wind at his back. He's wanting it a bit tougher as Rangers scrapping away here. Kano did well to win the ball, and then he launches one. Just parried away by a backtracking O'Connell. Almost caught out, but he does well to steer it behind.
Wasn't terribly convincing backtracking there from O'Connell. He had a bit of the shakes as he was going back, but just didn't quite get enough height on it. Did Federico Kano, but I don't think that'll be the first time we see the chip attempt from such a distance in this second half. Rangers, and with the corner opportunity. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the box, ready and waiting. Deliberation occurring. This one will go to the near post. It beats everyone at the back post. Taken back in, but only as far as O'Connell. There's much confusion there between the Rangers players, although
foul blown, I think.
I think a foul has been blown. Eventually launched by O'Connell. Now out to Hall. Beaten out to it by Humphrey. They'll look to go back to Tiki. And he receives it again as Montekio tries to play a nice through ball, but no one making the run towards the slope. And it's good to see him. Don't mind seeing him get on the ball a bit more this half. Should Tiki. That one's launch long. Christie winning the header. As far as Nick LA. He's hasn't got a whole lot of options close to him and just hits that one right down the throat of the keeper. Grabs it on the second attempt. So not really too many accurate passes here so far in the second half. Very much string 2 together and then give the ball away. And there's another example of that. And that one has turned more than a shame-worn leg spinner. Down for a goal kick.
Go around the grounds for the first time. The big top of the table Super League game. Launceston City leading Ulverston at 3-1 at half-time up there. Earlier today, University winning 2-0 over the Kingborough Lions in the match before this one. At City holding sway in that big Super League game. Of course, 2 more NPL matches. Plenty of Saturday action coming your way. 2:30 kickoffs. City and Devonport, and Clarence taking on Zebras. Plenty of action on this Saturday afternoon all around at the state as Avainen works it towards Baker, but nipping in there was Monticchio. He's been that big presence in midfield, hasn't he? It's perhaps not the role I was expecting to see from someone who plays as a striker in the championship, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, he looks just been another strong body in there. Days like this, very valuable to have.
He's done exceptionally well, and usually Kingborough with the likes of Di Martino and Downs do like to play the ball centrally, and while he hasn't had a lot of touches in an attacking sense, he's done very well at breaking up the play in the middle of the park as Tiki, and that one's launched unintentionally towards Shuth, who gets it out for a corner. Kano not particularly wanting that throw originally, wanting it to his chest, barking out instructions. But they managed to win the corner anyway, and this wind advantage has really been mostly Rangers in this second half. Looking for a short option, electing not to go there. Struggle's going to be for the ball to stay within the corner arc, I think. No one goes high to the back post. No one really making any contact, and in fact they don't, out for a goal kick.
Nothing doing from that one, but it's Rangers having the better of the second half here at the moment. The more likely side, but still just the one goal ahead in this match. Looking there for the Lions. They've had some tight battles. These two sides. This one's just going to hold up in the breeze. O'Connell finding it tough to clear the area. And kicking in towards a hurricane does make it tough, in fair to the 17-year-old in net today, as this one's heaved in by Lucas. Good first time flick, but went straight to Chris Downs, and now the Lions will look to conjure something on the break. That's broken up too, though. Patlanau Atkinson just left the ball behind, though. Downs, Calvert, he was dispossessed. Monticchio going down a blind alley there and lost it to Kansos. Scrapping away in midfield, Calvert. Downs wants to clear the area. Worked it to Kansos. Building down the left, this patient stuff. Here's Zammit now. Swings it in the Hall direction. Steered away from him by Jones. Downs sensed the chance for the spectacular, but his efforts were anything but, unfortunately.
Yeah, with the right contact, it could have seen that one swirling into the top corner, but a bit of a slice from Downs. It's a nice patient build up there from Kingborough, as Darude Sandstorm just about blowing off the Willie Smith end behind the goal here. It is a hell of a dust storm coming off the construction area.
Yeah, I do like the, they've made a bit of a terrace for themselves there, but not really where you want to be with this wind howling at the moment, going straight through them and getting doused with sand. Certainly Anakin Skywalker wouldn't be a fan of that one. No, the fifth, so a bit late with that one, but still, it's the Kingborough Lions, and Hall, who's beaten to it there by Lucas. His pass was poor, straight to Joel Schuth. Now Hawaiian, and he wanted the volley, and Christie stepped in, said, I'll head it, and got it to Nick Lanau Atkinson, who got in behind his marker here. De Souza scrapping away, did just enough to see off the threat of Nick Lanau Atkinson. And he tried to keep it in, but just rolling out of play for a Rangers throw and halfway, and some action on the bench, I think.
Yeah, substitution from Kingborough.
David Cooper coming on by the looks of things. And he's going to replace Hall, so he's already in position, but looking a little bit proppy as he wanders off, so perhaps some injury related to that substitution. Cooper for Hall, as the wind gets even heavier. Oosh, Rangers will be happy with it. Their backs. And he launches this throw. Kano. Christie in a pocket of space. The end product was poor.
Yeah, launched that one into a pocket of space, but unfortunately with no one in the vicinity, did Christie. With confirmation of that substitution. Cooper on for Hall. Let's see. The most popular name these days is David. I don't see too many like that, as O'Connell fires that one in the direction of Calvert. Goes for the return ball. No avail. Looks for Tiki, but hasn't taken off his toe. And now Fulton launches that one high into the sky, which teammates choose to chase down. Now it's Joel Schuth, whose forward ball is deflected as far as Humphrey. He's got Nick LA in a similar position to the first goal they combined on, but only gets it right into the feet of Chris Downs for Kingborough. Through ball. Looking for it again is Cooper, but not quite getting there. And it's now Nick LA on the far side. Goes for the return ball. Always dangerous in the air, especially with that wind, and that was always a difficult one to try and control that one. Leno Scully getting rejected for the high five there. Yeah, never want to do that to the coach.
Surely getting no love there, but once the ball hit the deck, he's never going to be able to control that one. It was swirling around all over the place, but backing out the instructions at the moment, Leno surely, but I'm going to be pretty happy with how things are sitting and where his team are positioned in this game. They're looking well on track at this stage. Here's the substitute Cooper. They've got another bigger body, perhaps, to play a bit more direct style. Baker's threatening to burst in behind. They feed him. Timothy Baker up against Fulton, marking him tightly. He knew he was well marked, so he just dropped off. Now he's got some space. He chips it through for Downs. He's offside. It was a pretty good ball from Chris Downs too for Kansas, but flag was immediately raised on the number 10. Nothing doing there. So we pass the hour mark here at Lightwood Park.
Wasn't hugely offside there, Downs, but just made the run a tad early, and they've done really well in stepping up to know the Rangers' defence. Certainly caught Kansas a couple of times with the offside. As Watman hits that one into the opposition box on the first bounce. That is a huge kick, and that throw, by contrast, has gone about 8 yards. Good skill from Nick LA. He's got one option in the box, but just slips at the wrong moment, and a goal kick is called.
Found the secondary option of losing his footing there, Nick LA, unfortunately. Didn't really do his side any favours, but yeah, right, the contrast between that goal kick and the throw from O'Connell just highlights all the sideboards have been blown over here. There are multiple sandstorms raging.
And I hope our official camera lady there wasn't terribly impacted from that one.
Yeah, Linda Higginson just copping it down there on the sideboards, and I think they're fighting a losing battle trying to get them back up as Rangers attack down the right. It's a dangerous cross. Havainen didn't quite deal with it at first, but behind it goes for a corner. They are truly fighting a losing battle if they're going to try and flip those boards up on the far touchline over there.
I'm more worried for the residents of Kingston with the roadworks going on over there, creating quite the dust storm.
Looks like the middle of the Sahara Desert over there. You can see sand on the horizon blowing everywhere. It is truly diabolical conditions here today down at the Den. Not a perfect day for football, but this one swung in and headed towards the back post. The players making do with the conditions, and Rangers on the attack again as they try and double their advantage. Not so this time, and Baker leads the breakout for the Kingborough Lions. He only had one option ahead of him, that was Cooper. Did a nice job holding up and then returning the ball for Baker. He's into the box here. Timothy Baker crosses towards Calvert, and it just wouldn't sit. And behind it goes for a corner. But once again, it's Timothy Baker making things happen and just not quite having the end product in the box here.
Not quite. It's you can see Cooper playing the hold-up role very well there, and Baker's best option was potentially a first or second time ball to Kansas. It was in a fair bit of space at the back post, and then Calvert sliding in. Unfortunately came off his off the numbers on his back. There's a short option here for Kingborough if they want it. Every player back for Rangers goes to the centre. Fulton does just enough to clear it, and Kansas gets a bit confused with his teammate. And eventually it'll fall back to O'Connell, who's going like me in FIFA 2002 and putting the keeper up to halfway. Chasing that one down is Calvert, and Fulton knocks that one over the new Lightwood Park ground, and there's Exhibit A of those advertising hoardings falling down. You see the match manager, one of them attempting to fix that, but I agree it's a bit of a lost cause.
That is the definition of lost cause. Don't even bother.
Enjoying Linda now using one as a seat to take some photos for us as well.
Always innovative is our Linda from Solstice Digital, taking the wonderful pictures you see every week from around the grounds. There's the referee getting a touch, and a decisive one for the Lions, who are about to see the ball go back the other way, but they've got back in control of it now. De Souza, I think we'll see push further and further up the pitch as they try and forge something. Cancels has done really well to keep that in, and then he turns inside and unfortunately ran straight into a Rangers wall, and they are off here now through Humphrey, and they spread it out wide for Lanau. Atkinson just waited a bit too long. Numbers at the full though, and they're flowing forwards here. Pat Lanau Atkinson, but he was dispossessed. And now the Lions perhaps with a chance to counter. Back the other way, Baker peeling off wide. Cooper was the target. Couldn't find him. Monticchio across, and he'll just send that one to the far corner towards the slope down there. And a sub is in the offing for the Northern Rangers.
It's Lachlan McCallum-Smith looking to come on. Very, very
disappointed Tiki wandering off there.
He does not look happy at all.
Never a man who likes to be subbed, the big Tiki. Wears the heart on the sleeve. He would have wanted 90 minutes today, I reckon, the big American.
Takes the oversized water bottle back to the bench.
Tommy Leco's going through the motions on the Kingborough bench, so we might see some action there quite shortly. And half-time score from the Southern Championship I've just had sent through to me. 4-1 to Glenorchy Knights. There'll be plenty of interested onlookers in that one. Knights with a big win. Of course, promotion coming in, so they'll be favourites. As a foul blown here, and maybe a slice of cheese will be forthcoming for Gilly de Souza. And indeed, it was a rather cynical block in the end from the Brazilian.
Yeah, scything down the Argentinian. Something we're used to seeing in world football. Brazilians versus Argentina. And a well-deserved, well, a very earned slice of cheese there for Gilly de Souza. We have a look at it on replay. Carno had certainly got first to the ball and knew exactly what he was doing, the experienced centre-back.
Yeah, look, I think they'll take the card, take the free kick, get plenty of bodies back. Not the worst option. So they were well and truly in behind. And this, you'd imagine, just gets curled right into the mixer. Try and use this wind. It has been a very difficult day. And it's crossed in and it's denied. I think the keeper might have kept that out. I'm not sure if it was the man on the line or the goalie, but that's a fantastic effort from O'Connell if it was him. The counter-attack being led out the other way. Kansos, and now De Souza's storming for the big centre half, looking to get involved. That's a really good challenge in defence to hold him. So end-to-end stuff here at the Den as we have another look at this free kick. And it was very, very nearly 2-0.
Yeah, interesting back header there, and it was O'Connell right on the line with the Rangers player. Dead in front as we see a sub. It's Phil Kansos coming up for Thomas Lacose, who, tell you what, the salad watcher is having a look at you, Thomas Lacose. That is an interesting do. All for that one as Broady's upgraded to the large blue oversized raincoat. It's some interesting fashion going on down here at a windy Lightwood Park. Still not the worst conditions I've seen here in the last 12 months, but it's well up there. At
least we can see out the window this year, Bob.
Glad you knew which game I was referring to then, as that's a good ball through to the ever-lively Baker. Stands it up to the back post where Cooper was.
Was it the same two teams in that game?
I think it might have been City. Because I remember
that's right, it was City. It was the other Launceston-based team. But that, yeah, that was a wild old day at the Den. Couldn't see out the window, but it's windier today. We'll give you that much.
Yeah, if anyone wants to head back to what we're referring to, it'd be about round 18 or 19 last year with City versus Kingborough down here, where we struggled to see the near-post corner flag from our commentary position. As Sam Watman now bathed in sunshine. Looks to take this one long. 67 minutes gone, and Rangers still in front. Right to the feet of De Souza, and a quick first-time shot for Carno. Leads to nothing in particular. Now O'Connell looks to launch that one long. Well, cut out in the end from Lucas. And only been breached a couple of times, this Rangers defence. They've been pretty stout so far in the game as Lacose looks to get a touch. DiMartino played down the line, getting towards the byline, but well cut out, and keeper calling for it well is Watman, and comes out to claim that one in an instant. So Rangers really haven't had a whole lot of trouble against them. Haven't had to draw their rifles in personal protection in this game, the NRA.
Yeah, no need for that. They've got a couple of guns out there, though, that's for sure. Linnell Atkinson with that volley to finish the difference between these two at the moment, and they will hold up as the match winner. Still 20 minutes left, but Kingborough finding it tough playing into this wind in the second half. Yeah, it's probably been Rangers the more likely of the two teams to score in this second 45. Calvert headed it behind him, comes back through Lucas to Sousa, straight to Christie. Christie with a clever little flick, good combination with Kano, but the left-footed volley from the angle was slightly ambitious, to put it mildly.
Yeah, well, not going to be too harsh on any ambitious attempts in this weather. It's almost going to play to the conditions and play to what it is on the day, and holy moly, that has fallen right to the touch of Tiki, who's just whipped out some techers there from the box, from the technical area, I should say. Just a nice little flick on. There's coming across to take it is Lucas. He's going to launch that one to the top of the box. Falls out to a range play. A lovely through ball. Kano's in here, and good save from O'Connell. A strong palm to put that over for a corner kick. Just needed to get that more in the corner. Did the Argentinian striker. Yeah, he's just in a good height for the keeper, and have to go too far either side. And again, in no hurry to take this corner. The Rangers. And it'll be Christie trotting across to take it. And still not committing too many men forward are the Rangers. And that one's launched to the back post. O'Connell loses it, and it's off the post in the end. Didn't quite see who that was charging through at the back. As we have a look at the replay, it's a pretty direct ball. And right at the back post, sneaking in utterly unmarked from an absurd angle.
Pat LA, is it?
It does.
Or Nick?
It does have does look like an LA.
Yeah, very close. Maybe he should have scored at the end. Obviously, the angle very severe, so tough. But geez, lack of marking from the Lions a bit of a concern. He just snuck around the back there, arriving like a thief in the night, and nearly made away with his second of the day.
Yeah, he's already put one past, so you think you'd make doubly sure that you've got someone on him. Nick LA just ghosting in at the back post. Rangers. As that one's launched high and holds up. Calvert not quite getting there now. DiMartino beaten out to it by Christie. Kano against Schuth again. It's been a good battle all day as now Nick LA down the right-hand side. Rangers storming forward in numbers if you can get a good ball in. That one's to the back post, and well handled from O'Connell. Humphrey nearly getting there, but O'Connell seeing that one out for a goal kick. So Rangers, another promising attack foiled there. And Kingborough, they really need some form of spark here in the second half. They've been pretty steady so far, but steady won't quite do it when you're 1-0 down. As attempting to get onto that one is Calvert. Good back flick by Baker. DiMartino second to the ball, but Kingborough managed to win the throw in. Just about a foul throw there, but Vinen will get another chance. And it's just not quite sure where this Kingborough goal is going to come from. Baker, obviously been a live player, but he's been a bit more subdued in this second half. D'Souza looking to play a through ball to Downs, who's offside in the end. And referee not wanting any back chat.
Nothing was the right call. Downs had just tried to gain a yard away from his defender. He cut immediately back behind the defensive line, but when the ball was played, he just tried to find a yard. He was being marked pretty tightly and just snuck in behind the lines there. So good decision from the linesman. And Watman sends this one along again. A clattering together there between De Souza and Kano. Those two going at it all day, and the decision goes against the Argentine on this occasion. Not got too long left now. The Kingborough Lions, they need to get a move along. Can't get anything out of this game. You can see the Rangers setting up the wall on this left-hand side, really, knowing that the wind's going to keep it on this half of the field. That one took a touch last off of the Lions. So they can just eat up more seconds here. Can the Rangers?
They're really playing the game at their own pace. Rangers just taking their time with throw-ins and also spending a fair bit of time with the ball in their half, and they'll hopefully try and keep that up for the next 15, but Gilly De Souza hits that one a bit too far in front of Tobias Havainen.
So Lucas with the throw-in. A man in plenty of space. He's got the forehand there, Christie. And you're not going to get away with that when you're a metre away from the referee. He's just tried to chest the ball, and in the process, he's just pulled out the forehand.
He's put out a very good forehand there, Christie. The Launceston Tennis Club up there will be trying to sign him up after that one.
Very interesting, that one. As Cooper's the target. It's a great ball. Cooper hustling and bustling, making a nuisance of himself. Eventually, they'll clear through Lucas. Only as far as DiMartino. Havainen is bombing on. He's tightly marked, though. Trying to use the close in control there to sneak him behind. He wins the throw. The Lions looking for a late surge. 15 to play. Can they get themselves back on terms? Baker, again the target, and why not? Timmy Baker weaving one way, then the other. He's got two to beat, and he beat them both, and he crosses dangerously, but it's steered away nicely. Good defensive play by Roberts back there. Now Schuth. Sends it across for Zammit. Tommy Lacose is way offside. The advantage will be allowed here as the Rangers will clear back the other way, and they've broken in behind. It's a big task here for De Souza. The angle just deceived me for a second. Always had it under control. I just saw the 2v1 bursting, but Brazilian comfortably across, and Lacose just needs to stay on side at the other end. Kingborough having a reasonable spell of pressure, but they've not made the most of those rare instances in this half when they have had them.
Yeah, we've seen that from whoever's been the winger for Kingborough so far today. As a throw-in taken on the far side. Patler does very well to get round Lacose, gets around a second. Delivers the ball into the near post. O'Connell gets their touch. And a corner given. Scrambling there was O'Connell. As we have a look at the replay. He's had Christie and Humphrey in the box. Kano with the outside of the foot, and it's come off his own player. And he was in an offside position, so Rangers there. You'd expect Kano with the striking prowess to show a tad more composure there and not just a flick with the outside of the foot. Lions looking to get it forward towards Calvert. Now Schuth knocks it only as far as the Rangers. Now they'll look to go out wide with Nick L.A. Does very well there. The defender for Kingborough. Shank clearance forward. It's a very scrappy second half here today at the Den. Eventually making the forward run. Calvert now into Baker. What can he do? Knocks it back. Gilly De Souza downs at the top of the box, but well cleared eventually, and O'Connell will burst out of his box to keep the pressure on. Really is backs to the wall stuff at the moment, Rangers. O'Connell launches that one high. Really looking at the ball, an offside call against Havainen. He's 2 offsides in one game from a right back. It's not bad going.
I thought he timed his run quite well there, Toby Havainen, but not to be. Been much earlier in the move. So the long ball just kind of floated over the top and was allowed to bounce, which invited danger, unfortunately for the Lions. The young fullback adjudged to have strayed as Watman chips this one down the middle. Kano was there, away by DiMartino, and here's Baker again. He's been the outlet, and he's got a little bit of space to operate in if he can get past his marker here. And Luke, as he charges into the box, Baker cuts back inside onto the left, and well done. Sticking with the task there. Nicely defended by Lucas. And they've done a very nice job all day, you have to say, of just sticking with them. In fact, that was McCallum Smith, not Lucas. But a fantastic piece of defensive play. Baker, a number of times has torn off, but they just keep reining him in. And they've done a pretty good job generally, funneling him into areas that aren't quite as dangerous for the most part.
Yeah, especially Roberts, Fulton and now McCallum Smith have done pretty well at that, as we see a second substitution from Rangers. It's Humphrey coming off. Didn't quite see who that was coming on.
Jonathan Burke coming on. Number 17 there, donning the dual gloves, which I'm all about.
Clearly didn't bring a long sleeve kit here today, did Rangers?
It would seem not. Again, Baker's the outlet, and again he's surrounded and he just weaves his way out, but he's retreating from the dangerous area. They reload again. Baker chipping it into the channel and nicely defended there, coming across to smash that one away is Roberts.
You can see he's the main outlet for Kingborough. For all their attacking play is Baker, very much playing the sheriff's role. He's always from Tennessee. Do like a sheriff in control from that part of the world. D'Souza trying to get that one forward to Havainen, but will eventually get there. Hesitates. And the long drive eventually cleared by Lucas. Falls into the centre to Christie, who looks to bang it forward. D'Souza ends up with it, and it takes Roberts to heave that one to the far side. Nick LA screaming at his team to push up, really wanting to get some forward pressure. Up there is the captain, as far as Laco's. An absolute scrap there with Christie and Joel Schuth. And falls towards Rangers, so 10 minutes to go here between the Lions and Rangers. Still up 1-0. The team from Launceston, taken by Patler. Down that side, it's Carno in the corner with Laco's to beat. Does well. Only as far as a Rangers player who just selects to hoof that in no particular area. O'Connell now with a goal kick. Launched high towards Calvert, who wins the header. Callum Smith does well. Burke with the first touch and a bit off the outside of the foot. There's a dejected looking Tiki. Would probably rather be out there, but marshalling his troops from the technical area.
So Lannon goes short to DiMartino. Inside the final 10 now as the stooped header is offside. I'm going to halt this before anything can develop. Christie looking to sneak in behind. Scored 3 goals for the Rangers so far this season. Their leading goal scorer. It's looked a pretty tidy player. A couple of very nice finishes in amongst them. As again they just go long and strong over the top trying to spring Baker, but well one in the air by Lucas, and Cooper now looking to make something happen. He's given them something since coming on. Laco's from range. Tried the spectacular, but despite the encouragement from his centre back there, he was way off.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be giving him too much encouragement to shoot from that area. I mean, you do have the wind here today, but it's always a low percentage attempt from that far out. Watman taking his time in collecting the ball. In no particular hurry here are the Rangers. And the man in the all yellow kit launches that one in the direction of his striker. Deflection nearly sees Burke through. Gets a flick on header. O'Connell coming out safe but offside. In the end will relieve any pressure as Kingborough are set to make their third and final change. It's launched up towards Calvert and Baker. Gilly D'Souza manages to head that one to himself, and then Catches a Rangers player in a sandwich. Now Nick LA down the right-hand side. Just trips over the ball at an inconvenient moment. Eventually seen out of play with Patler storming forward from the right back position. And we'll see that substitution being made.
Dominic Easton going on. So the Lions shuffling the deck once more as they try and scrounge something out of the last 6 minutes of regulation. A couple of minutes you'd imagine of added time. Can they find the way to goal? Calvert, the man replaced by Easton. And Gilly de Souza's just wandered over to the near touchline, perhaps just bleeding a little bit. And get a bit of maintenance done there on the runners. The Lions temporarily down to 10 men as they are forced on the defensive here. The flag's been up, so it clearly went out of play. And they will be in no rush here. Patler now, Atkinson. They want to professionally try and see this one out now. Victory very much within grasp for the Northern Rangers after they lost last week, or week before rather, in the league. Thanks to that late penalty against Devonport. I guarantee you they'll be playing this one right to the final whistle. So they again take the time with the throw in. Patler now Atkinson. And again they'll take it short. Won't be too fussed if they end up playing a cross in or not. Oh, stop. One player continued to keep pushing there. Wanting the free kick, nothing doing. It's a real scrap in the corner and that suits the Rangers just fine. Kano. Has he won a corner there? He has. As Gilly de Souza gets permission to come back on, and Mark Rawbin says, you just stay on halfway and get ready for us to come back the other way, I think.
Not even going back for the corner is the centre back. He's ready and raring to go for any forward attack. The corner being taken very short. And sneakily won another one. Did Federico Cano. As Kingborough retrieving the ball for the Rangers in quick time. And they've got absolutely no intention of launching this one into the box. As the referee's just holding the corner flag so it doesn't get in the way. That was launched high into the sky.
It's
and
gone backwards.
It's
gone backwards. Extraordinary.
As eventually Joel Schuth gets it out to Lacose and they'll try and get it out of that corner where it got stuck for a good couple of minutes for the Lions. They've only got 4 to 5 minutes to find an equaliser.
Just makes it so hard to play direct in those conditions because the ball's going backwards when you're smashing it in the air. It's hard to get any distance or purchase on the long balls over the top, and really the defender's going to be able to read it just as well as the attacking player because it's just being held up. It's tough for the Lions who need to flick the switch and get the ball forward and get the ball forward quickly here with just 3.5 minutes left. At the moment, the game is being played firmly in their defensive half. What can O'Connell conjure up this time from the goal kick? He changes the direction. Maybe just avoided the wind a little. The coast now with a up and under that sets a task for young Havainen. Did pretty well. Gilly de Souza now getting involved, and it should be a line. No, Rangers throw in. Last touch off of the Brazilian. And time ticking away here for the Lions. Simon Lucas throws it down the line over his own teammate though to Havainen. He lost it. Downs. Slightly under hit back pass there to Easton, who's come on to facilitate that Gilly de Souza move up forward. And again, just shielding the ball out of play with strength was Lucas.
Very good body positioning there from Lucas. Did very well to shield the ball and then launches one down the line. And does well to win a throw in off of Vine, so gained an extra 20 metres. Did the Rangers. Lucas again to launch this one long. Sort of having to put a bit of top spin on it just so it doesn't fly out directly. Gilly de Souza getting a touch. Now Kano. Rangers. Oh, it's a lovely chip ball over the top there from Christie. He's done exceptionally well. It's Nick LA on this side here and goes the shot. And goal kick given by the assistant referee. O'Connell quickly takes it. He's got a few options up ahead. Gilly D'Souza's waiting underneath it. Doesn't win it. Joel Schuth hoofs that one into the sky. Cooper reads that one a bit better than Roberts. Tries to put through the Brazilian centre-back, but great covering challenge from Fulton. Alex Fulton putting his body on the line against the Brazilian centre-back. Nice bit of skill from Pat LA down that side. Now through ball to the far post. It's Nick LA, just let it run a little bit, but he'll just put that one in the corner. Probably the better outcome. Certainly killed a good 15 seconds off the clock, and now more as they win the throw-in.
Done a really professional job with the time wasting today, the Rangers. They've just kept it wide, kept it near the sidelines, had repeat throw-ins, repeat corners. They've done a really good job just trying to kill this game off for the last 20 minutes or so. They've not allowed the Lions a sniff. They know they've had the wins at their back. They've used that well. It's just been really intelligent football from Northern Rangers in this second half to, well, from their sake, hopefully kill the game off. They've only got probably a couple of minutes left to do, and Kano, they can't get the ball off him. He is just, well, he's been given the free kick in the end.
Lovely bit of Techers on the sideline as well to beat the two initially, and then a fairly agricultural attempt at a challenge by the Lions defence. It's just a Kano dribbling show down here in the corner at the moment. With the free kick, they're going to get back 10 yards. At the moment, that's probably less than 10.
I don't think they're going to swing this one in anyway. I thought they'd probably just look to play a bit of a keep off in the corner down here, and that's what they go for. Need a few more seconds. Shielding the ball out there to scrap the Lions and want it back. Baker doing the defensive work. Now DeSouza needs to loft it forwards. Eventually it found DiMartino. Coming through again was Baker. No one knows where it is, and then just a flex off a Rangers body, and here we go. Last chance saloon stuff now for the Lions. If ever they're going to conjure something, it needs to be now. DeSouza, again the direct approach down the line. Headed away, well kept in there by the Rangers. And a foul by the Brazilian, and that will allow them just to eat more time off the clock. I can't imagine there's going to be more than 2 minutes here, Paul. Yeah,
I can't imagine that either. Just substitutions being the only delays this half. Gilly D'Souza also thought about kicking that one away before remembering he's already on a slice of cheddar. Don't want to unnecessarily be ruled out for any future games, and they've just let Kano down the flank all on his own, and he's just going to have a personal 1v1 with Havainen before DiMartino comes across to cover. And I mean, they've been doing that for the last 5 minutes. Why you wouldn't have a defender on him down in that corner, I'm not quite sure. And Christie now with the throw-in, taken quickly. Wins it off. Kano doesn't manage to keep it in. Quick retrieval. We'll see O'Connor launch the team forward.
They've got to go. And O'Connell sends them down the wing. DeSouza, he's headed back to the mix of it again. It falls away of the Rangers, and Jones smashes it forward. Time is becoming an enemy here. There can't be long left. They go long looking for Baker. Falls for DiMartino, who just missed the pass, really. Kano was offside. He thought he was never getting that one.
Look at the watch from the referee.
O'Connell, long they go. This surely is just about it. But again, they can't even get the ball to hit the deck. The Rangers doing a great job killing this one off, and they're not even going to give them a sniff here. As Easton will retreat back to his goalie once again. And he launches it long. Looking for Lacose. Well read, though, in defence. They're not looking likely as just hitting the deck there up top. The Rangers player doesn't get anything, and the offside flag has been raised here, which will be a further blow for the Lions. So trying to get something going.
That was very clever of Joel Schuth, and just to shield the ball away, because he did really underhit that back pass towards the keeper. And Cooper trying to get a sense of urgency going on here, but Rangers will take their sweet time, and Fulton to launch this one in the air. And as far as Kano, who's shielding the ball expertly well. Now Pat Atkinson with Goes for company. Eventually gets it back to him. But now Lacoze gets a foot in. We've got a lot of stoppage time here in the second half.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where it's all come from. We've seen that a few times this year, just the minutes being added, but there'll be no more play here at the Den. Northern Rangers, through Nick Lanau-Atkinson, took the lead in the first half, and they hold on from there. It was a really professional job from them. They grind out the victory and take a big 3 points from the Den. Kingborough will be disappointed, but I think on the balance of play, probably a fair enough result. Once Rangers had that lead, they weren't overly troubled. They protected it well. They saw the game out expertly. And I think that wind really just hurt any hopes of a Kingborough fight back in the second half. The fact they were trailing, having had it at their backs in the first 45, ultimately pretty decisive for mine.
Yeah, I certainly agree with that. A thoroughly deserved win for the Northern Rangers. If you were to draw up a blueprint of a game plan when you're away from home at a tricky venue, I think this is the one that you would use. Credit to the coaching staff of Rangers and credit to the players for executing it. They held their defensive positions expertly well, and then when they had the chance, Nick Lanau-Atkinson is one of the leading goals. He's about in the top 15 of leading goal scorers in NPL Tas, and that's one reason why when you take that one opportunity you get, they contained Kingborough really well. Even in that second half when they were a goal down, Kingborough were trying to get the ball forward, but they still never really looked under immense pressure. Never really moved Rangers back to their 18-yard line, and I do think the wind had a fair bit to do with that. Just unable to provide consistent pressure. And the Rangers will head back up the number 1 highway with 3 points in their back pocket. He'll get you, we'll get them into the top, close to the top 4.
So there's a very happy Lino, surely.
There's that smile.
Told you see a smile if they kept doing it for 45 more minutes. He wanted a full 90-minute effort, and judging by his reaction, he got exactly that today. And deserved victors, the Lions. Stay tuned to Slice of Cheese for coverage of a couple of big games in the NPL underway at 4:30. Clarence taking on the ladder leaders, the Hobart Zebras. And also Devonport taking on Launceston City. A really interesting game, that one. I think that's going to be an absolute cracker as Ulverston have come storming back behind. Well, I haven't got the goal scorers, but they now lead 4-3 apparently. So that is quite a turnaround in the Super League. Entertaining game there. But from here at the Den, it's finished Kingborough Lions 0, Northern Rangers 1.